All right. Ready to dive into something that's just everywhere you turn these days?
Let's do it.
Sustainability storytelling.
Okay.
You know how to make those eco-friendly choices, all that good stuff, sound as engaging and exciting as they really are.
Yeah.
And he sent over this really awesome document that breaks down sustainability storytelling A to Z.
Right.
I gotta say, some of those letters I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It's true. Sustainability, it's not just like a buzzword anymore, is it? It's become like
this site.
Geist.
It really is.
People want stories that really connect with what's going on right now.
Coolly.
You know, they want to understand how their everyday choices actually affect the planet's future.
Speaking of making connections, who knew we'd be starting with Aristotle?
Right.
Talk about a blast from the past.
Well, he did kind of lay the foundation for storytelling as we know it.
It's true.
That's awesome.
And while, everybody and their brother has heard about the 3-act structure,
Right.
the document you sent over talks about something so much cooler.
Okay.
Aristotle's emphasis on ethos, pathos, and logos.
Okay.
Which basically means to make a sustainability story really hit home, it needs
It's like a...
It needs ethics, it needs emotion, and it needs logic.
Yeah, it's that perfect recipe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
For a viral tweet.
Yes.
Make them think,
It's true.
feel, and trust you all at once.
All those things at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got, the foundation of good storytelling down. But the document introduces this idea of biomimicry.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, the first time I saw that word, I thought it was some high-tech, science fiction kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's actually way more straightforward.
Right.
It's about, looking to nature for inspiration, for solutions.
Right.
Did you know that Velcro was actually inspired by those little burrs that get stuck on your clothing?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The inventor, George de Mistral, he was hiking in the Alps, and he just kept finding these burrs all over his pants.
Oh, yeah.
His dog's fur, and he was instead of getting annoyed, he was curious.
That's awesome.
He put one of the burrs under a microscope, and he was like, wow, it's covered in these tiny little hooks.
Wow.
And they latch onto anything that's loop-shaped.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. That was the birth of Velcro.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like they say, nature finds a way.
It does. It does.
But how do we take that brilliance of nature and bring it back into, our human experience?
Yeah, well, that's where you need those compelling characters, right?
It is.
That's what the document's talking about.
It is. It's talking about how important characters are.
They're everything.
Especially in this...
They really are.
Especially in this kind of storytelling.
Think about any story that's really stayed with you. Any book, any movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's the characters, isn't it?
Yeah.
The characters that draw you in make you really feel something.
Yes.
And sustainability stories, same thing, right?
Yeah.
You need those relatable heroes.
Yeah.
You need those wise mentors. You even need, villains.
Oh, for sure.
To represent those challenges we're facing.
Definitely.
That's what makes these, kind of big, complex issues feel personal.
I do.
And they give us someone to root for.
Yes, exactly.
And you can't forget conflict.
Oh, yeah.
It's a key ingredient in any good story.
That's true, because nobody wants to watch a movie where, everything's just
So
fine. For, an hour and a half, it's come on.
Exactly.
Give me some drama.
Yeah, we crave that tension, don't we?
Yeah.
Those are, obstacles to overcome. It keeps us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
And with sustainability stories,
conflict
can show, the real tension that's going on.
Right.
The document talks about it, right?
Yeah.
The gap between what we want to do and what we actually do.
Totally.
We might say we care about the planet.
Right.
But then we're faced with, fast fashion or, those single-use plastics we all use.
It's hard.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or, even bigger.
Yeah.
Think about,
Yeah, government regulations versus, profits. Exactly.
Environment versus, corporate profits.
Yeah.
It's a real tension, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like those internal debates we have with ourselves at the grocery store.
All the time.
Paper bag or plastic bag. Or should I have just brought my reusable bags like I was planning on doing?
You're supposed to.
I know.
But you don't always do it, do you?
It's tough.
It is. It is.
But that's what makes sustainability, relatable.
Yes. It's those everyday struggles.
Some big,
abstract thing.
It's that's where the data comes in.
Right.
Right, because data can be so powerful.
It can.
No, I know when people hear data, they think, oh,
Cold, hard facts.
yeah.
But the document actually quotes Brene Brown.
Oh, nice.
And she says, maybe stories are just data with a soul.
I love that.
And I love that quote.
Me too.
It's so true.
Yeah, because like numbers and figures
Yeah.
on their own, they're kind of...
Hard to connect with.
Yeah.
They're abstract.
Yeah, they're kind of meaningless unless you can
Unless you can feel them.
Yeah.
That's it.
The document uses the example of the story of stuff, which I don't know if you've ever seen.
It's a classic, isn't it?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in college,
Yeah.
being like, oh my God.
It's so powerful.
This is amazing.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because it's not just hitting you with all these statistics.
Right.
About, how much we consume, how much waste we produce. It's like,
yeah.
it tells a story.
It does.
About our stuff.
It does.
Where it comes from.
It really does.
How it's made.
Yeah.
How long we actually use things for, and then where it ends up.
Where it
goes.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, a lot of the time, it's a landfill or it's the ocean.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just about,
Yeah.
data points.
It's not numbers on a screen, is it?
Yeah, it's about like the real world impact.
Exactly.
The
The impact of our decisions on the planet.
Yeah.
It makes you think twice, doesn't it?
It makes you think twice about
Yeah.
every little thing you buy.
It really does.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It's what we need.
It's what we need.
Okay. So we're doing the Aristotle thing. We're getting inspiration from nature.
Absolutely.
Right?
Compelling characters
Yes.
driving the conflict.
Yes.
We're making data human.
We're making data.
What's next?
Human. What's next?
What's next? It's impact, isn't it?
It is.
You could have a good story. But a successful sustainability story needs to actually make something happen.
Yes. It's not enough to just tell the story. It's like
It's got to have
we need to see that change.
real world change.
Yeah. A tangible result.
Exactly. And the document
Yeah.
highlights some really inspiring examples
Oh, cool.
of organizations that are doing just that.
Okay.
And one that really stood out for me is the ocean cleanup.
Oh, cool.
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
They're tackling,
I've seen their videos. They're amazing.
aren't they fantastic?
Yeah.
They're dealing with this massive problem.
They're just, it's like, it's heartbreaking to see
It is, isn't it?
the scale of, plastic
Like overwhelming.
in the ocean.
Yeah.
What their solutions are.
But then they show you the solution.
So cool.
Yeah, and you're like, okay,
It's possible.
it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Like, we can actually do something about this.
And they have those huge, what are those big
Boop booms.
booms? Yes.
Yeah, they're massive, aren't they?
Yeah.
That are just like
collecting plastic.
collecting plastic out of the ocean.
And they show you how much they're collecting.
They do, which is awesome.
It's amazing. And they're transparent about it. They're not
Yeah.
hiding anything. They're showing the process.
Yeah, it's not like we're just going to tell you about the problem and then
Exactly.
peace out, see ya.
It's like, no, this is what we're doing about it. It's
Yeah.
like, we're doing
This is
good.
the impact.
Yeah.
We're making a difference.
And it makes you feel like you can,
Exactly.
it's so cool. It's like,
It's really empowering.
yeah, we're all.
It shows you that it can be done.
Yeah.
And that's motivating, isn't it?
It is. It's like, look, we're not messing around. We're here.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
We're making a difference.
And that's what makes people want to be a part of the solution.
Exactly. Exactly.
And speaking of being part of the solution,
Right.
I love how this document talks about local stories.
It's so important.
Writing a global impact.
Because it's so easy to get overwhelmed by.
Yeah, it's easy to get
It feels so big.
yeah, like what do I do as one person?
Yeah.
Like, how does that even make a difference?
What can I possibly do to change climate change? It's huge.
Right.
But then you remember
Yeah.
that those small actions, those local initiatives,
Yeah.
they ripple outwards.
They really do.
They have an effect, and that's what this section's all about.
They do. It's like the community garden might not solve world hunger,
Right.
but it's bringing people together. It's showing what's possible.
It's a start.
It's a start.
It might inspire someone else to do something similar.
Exactly.
And that creates a ripple effect.
Totally. It's like they say, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from
Our children.
our children.
Exact.
And speaking of our children,
Right.
social media,
Oh, yeah.
that's the megaphone of today.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. The document talks about movements like, Fridays for Future.
Yeah.
Which have used social media
So effectively
so effectively
to get their message across,
to get organized,
to put pressure on
to get their message amplified.
policymakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It really is.
Like, think about how social media has
it's given a voice to like,
a voice to people and communities
yeah,
who might not have had one before.
totally. Totally.
It's amazing.
And it's not just like,
We're always shouting into the void.
Exactly.
Well,
It allows for dialogue,
It's this back and forth.
real-time conversations,
Yeah.
deeper understanding, maybe even,
some action.
yeah,
Hopefully some action comes out of it.
exactly. Makes you wonder what Aristotle would have thought about all this.
Oh my
The
God.
comment section.
Imagine.
Those ancient Greek debates on Twitter.
I know, right? The hashtags have been...
Oh, I know. Trending topics in ancient Greece.
I love it, but
But
in all seriousness, though,
Yeah.
like as much as it's an amazing tool for good,
it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
it really is.
You have to be careful.
How do we keep it real?
That's the question. How do we avoid that greenwashing?
Yeah, how do we
We were talking about
avoid that? Yeah.
because people can spot it a mile off,
Oh, especially
especially younger generations.
younger generations.
They can smell it coming.
Yeah, they can sniff out a marketing ploy
Totally.
like nobody's business.
Yeah, they're not falling for it.
They're not buying it.
No.
Well,
Transparency is key.
yeah, transparency,
Honesty.
authenticity. It's about being like, we're trying, we're not perfect,
Yeah.
but
We're on a journey.
we're on a journey.
This is a journey. It's not a destination.
Yeah,
We're going to make mistakes along the way,
exactly.
but we're committed to doing better.
And I think that resonates more
It does.
than like this,
more than some like picture perfect facade.
yes, this perfect image. It's like nobody's perfect,
Exactly.
We're all in this together.
We're all just trying to figure it out.
That's it. And that actually
Yeah.
reminds me, the document mentions this great word,
Okay.
xenophilia.
Xenophilia. I love that.
Have you heard of this one?
I love saying it. Xenophilia.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
I had to look it up, though.
Right.
I'll be honest, I did.
Yeah, most people haven't heard of it.
But it basically is like,
It means having an appreciation for what's different,
yes.
for diversity,
And I thought, okay.
which makes perfect sense
yeah.
in this context.
Total sense when we're talking about sustainability.
Because we need everybody.
Yeah,
We need all the voices, all the perspectives,
Yeah.
all those different ways of knowing and doing
Build in solutions.
to tackle these global challenges.
Yes. It's like the more ingredients you have in your kitchen,
Right.
the more interesting and delicious your meals are going to be.
Exactly.
Love that analogy.
And speaking of ways of knowing,
Yes.
the document also brings up
Yeah.
traditional ecological knowledge.
Yes. So important.
Or,
Often overlooked,
yeah.
especially in Western societies.
Which is basically about like recognizing and valuing
Valuing the wisdom of indigenous communities
indigenous communities who have been living like this
for generations.
since the dawn of time.
They've been living in harmony with nature.
They have so much to teach us
They have so much knowledge
about sustainability.
about how to live in balance
Yes.
with the planet.
Okay. So now
Right.
we need to talk about
Let's talk about
vision, the power of vision.
the power of vision, absolutely.
Because
To create a better future,
you got to be able to imagine it first.
you have to be able to see it
Yeah.
in your mind.
This is where I get really excited
Okay.
because the document talks about visionary storytelling.
Yes. Tell me more.
And it's not about like focusing on all the doom and gloom.
Right. It's not about the problems.
Problem.
It's about the solutions.
It's about showing that there's another way.
Exactly.
Like a better world is possible.
It's about hope.
It is about hope.
It's about possibility.
Yes.
And I think when people can see that,
Yeah.
when they believe it,
Yeah.
they're more likely to act.
Yes.
They're more likely to actually.
It's like in those movies where they show you the hero's journey. It's
Right.
like, yeah, if they're going to stumble, there's going to be
Setbacks, challenges,
Wait,
but there's that light at the end of the tunnel.
there's that light, and it's like,
Keeps them going.
yeah, it keeps them going, and it keeps us, the audience, engaged.
Exactly.
We're rooting for them.
We want them to succeed.
Yeah,
And I think it's the same with sustainability, isn't it?
it really is.
We need those stories.
It's that human need for those stories
That's it.
that make us feel like
That inspire us. That give us hope.
that we can make a difference.
That we can create change.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Oh my gosh, we covered so much.
I know, right?
Aristotle,
We've been everywhere.
indigenous wisdom,
The power of vision.
power of vision.
It's all connected, though, isn't it?
It really is.
It all comes back to this idea that
Yeah.
sustainability storytelling, it's not just about the environment.
It's about people. It's about people.
It's about connecting with each other
Yes.
as human beings
On a human level.
and sharing our stories
Exactly.
and our hopes and our fears.
Because that's how we inspire each other
Yes.
to create a better world.
So for you listening,
Yes.
what's your sustainability story?
What kind of impact do you want to have?
What kind of difference are you going to make?
Because we're all part of this one big story.
We are.
And your choices, your actions,
Your stories.
your stories matter.
They do.
They really do. So on that note, we'll leave you to ponder that.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you today.
It really has been. Until next time, keep those stories coming and keep making a difference.